Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Milton here doing another video. And welcome to my part 1 of my Clone Wars story arc. This is going to be a 5-part series of the Star Wars Clone Wars series that was on Cartoon Network / Netflix. And I'm going to talk about the top 5 Clone Wars story arcs. And as you can see in the title description, I'm going to talk about the Mortis episodes. The Mortis episodes, I feel, was one of the best story arcs ever done in this series. I felt that Dave Filoni and George Lucas told an excellent story, and it's in a 3-episode trilogy, and this is what they're titled. It's 315, which is Overlords, 316 is Ultra Mortis, and 317 is Ghost of Mortis. So pretty much how this storyline goes is Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka they get a distress beacon saying they need, or not a, they need to rendezvous with some of the clone troopers. And as they're using their homing device, their beacon, and try to figure out where they're going to be, they can't find it. And pretty much what happens is they are being pulled into like another dimension. And so they pass out, they wake up in another dimension, and it's beautiful, lustrous world, okay? But pretty much this world is made of like the power of the Force. Like this is the place of the Force where the power of good and evil is balanced. And that was cool to see, because you get to see the landscape change. You know, you get to see the landscape go from being lustrous green to being, you know, this dark, scary, you know, place where no one wants to live at, where it's barren and just uninhabitable. And it was cool to see that. I love that about the first episode. We get to meet 3 new characters. The sister, who represents the good side of the Force. We have the brother, who represents the dark side of the Force. And we have the father, who is the balance of the Force. So think of it as like the Holy Trilogy, or the Holy Trilogy, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, you know. And spiritual, so if you're spiritual, that's what you can look at it as. But you have the Father, the Son, and the sister. And it was cool to see that, you know, the father, who is the balance of his 2 children, brought Anakin here because he feels that Anakin can replace him and take over and keep his children in control. And Anakin, you get to see in this series how powerful Anakin is and what his potential could be, okay? And when I say could be, you know, we all know he becomes Darth Vader. That's not a secret. But if Anakin was at his full potential, if he didn't become Darth Vader, oh my God, you could have seen the power he could have wielded. And that's what I loved about this particular episode. Pretty much, you know, Anakin and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, they go through like they go through some trials, sort of. They see some spirits. They get to see some of their past. Like, for example, you know, Obi-Wan gets to see Qui-Gon Jinn again. Qui-Gon Jinn, who is voiced by Liam Neeson, by the way, in this series. He comes back to him and says, "Hey, did you train the boy?" And he's like, "Yes, Master, I have." And he talks to Qui-Gon about his insecurities and his conflicts with training him. And it was cool to see that. And then also, I believe Anakin runs into Qui-Gon Jinn also. And then we get to see Anakin see his mother, Shmi Skywalker. You know, and she talks to him and comes to him in Force Ghost. And it was cool to see that. And they're just testing them as who they are as people and as Jedi. You know, we get to see that Anakin is, you know, conflicted a lot. Get to see his power develop, which is pretty cool. Another thing about this trilogy, we get to see that, you know, Ahsoka has her own demons. You know, Ahsoka eventually gets kidnapped / brainwashed by the Son, and the Son happens to be voiced by, you know, Sam Witwer, who becomes Darth Vader, or not Darth Vader. Becomes the voice of Darth Maul, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the Son kidnaps her, you know, pretty much makes him his servant / slave, and she has a lot of demons she needs to work out, and it's cool to see that. So pretty much how the first episode ends is, you know, Anakin has a choice to make, you know, like, and he makes a choice, and he controls, you know, the brother and the sister with the Force, and it was pretty badass. Like, that scene was off the hook. To seeing Anakin just pull him with the Force, dope, son. I mean, this is one of those first episodes of like a trilogy in this series that I was like, wow, they really know how to play with the mythos of Star Wars. That was cool. Then we see again, like I said, the son, you know, take Ahsoka, and you see Anakin fight Ahsoka, and just seeing him deal with that, you know, was pretty cool because you know Ahsoka has a lot of shit going on in her head, and we don't ever get to see her, you know, flesh out her character a lot. But it was cool to see that they did this. You know, I'm reading some of the notes here. You know, the son ends up casting Ahsoka under a spell of the dark side. That's why she's like that, and it was cool to see her struggle with the dark side. You know, and then the father, you know, at the time is trying to you know, keep his children under control, and he wants to have Anakin replace him, saying, "Listen, take over for me. You are the balance. You can be the balance of good and evil." And we always heard that from the original trilogy to the prequels. Balance, bringing balance to the Force. Balance to the Force. Anakin's the chosen one. We've always heard that. So we know that George Lucas and Dave Filoni wanted to keep that tight and tell that story. That was pretty cool. Also in my notes, you know, we get to see that, you know, the daughter, you know, takes Obi-Wan to the altar of Mortis, where it's forbidden. She should never taken him there. Within, she keeps the dagger of Mortis, a weapon capable of killing a Force wielder. And pretty much when Obi-Wan gets that dagger, he's trying to kill the son and break the dark side spell of Ahsoka. And seeing that mythos of how, you know, you can kill those spirits like that was cool. I didn't know nothing about that, so it was cool to see that. And then, you know, we get to see, you know, the daughter go out as a hero when she sacrifices herself with that dagger of Mortis. And, you know, she's the one that tries to, you know, help, you know, stop the sun, because the sun at this point is out of control. He wants to take over the galaxy. Now, that leads us into the third episode of the series, which is the Ghost of Mortis. Okay? This is where shit got real for people. Okay? And if you're watching this video, you know where I'm going to go with this. I'm looking at my notes. You know, the Jedi remain stranded on Mortis, and the Son, aligned with the dark side of the Force, renews the efforts to convert Anakin as the Jedi, prepare him for a confrontation. Now, I say all that because what happens is fucking awesome at this point. The Son, voiced by Sam Witwer, takes Anakin to, like, you know, a part of the Mortis where the dark side is powerful. Okay? And he shows him the future. He says, "I can show you the future," and shows him what he is in the future. And he shows him being slaughtering younglings, bringing the Republic down, and becoming Darth Vader. That was off the hook. I loved it, and how it played out was beautiful. Just seeing Anakin saying, "Hey, no, I don't want to see nothing. Don't show me. I won't look." And the Son just shows him anyways, and it was awesome. And you just see Anakin succumb to the dark side because he knows it's inevitable of what he will become. And it was just cool to see that play out. I love that, man. Like, this is why I love this series. This is why I love George Lucas and Dave Filoni, because they did a great job at telling that story. Seeing Anakin, seeing his future, saying, "Hey, you know what? The Jedi are the reason why, you know, the Republic will fall. You know, I have to stop this." And everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" And he doesn't go into it, and it was just cool to see. And Anakin says, "I will do terrible things to end the Clone War." He says that, "I will do terrible things to end the Clone Wars." You know, and just seeing that was awesome, man. And I just loved it because seeing that dark side Anakin, that potential was dope. Seeing the Son manipulate was off the hook. Seeing Obi-Wan just in conflict and don't know what to do was badass, because these characters aren't perfect, man. They're human beings, and that was cool to see. And then pretty much we see, you know, the Son, we see, you know, the father, you know, he says, "Listen, you broke the rules. You showed the future. You should have never done that." I'm looking at my notes now, you know. He wipes Anakin's memory of these future visions. Anakin doesn't know what's going to happen now. And he steals the Mortis dagger to end the conflict. The father impales himself. The father sacrifices himself, you know, to save the galaxy and bring it back into balance, thus preventing the Son from stealing the power. The Son, stunned by this, run through by Anakin with all three Force wheels destroyed. The imbalance of the Force disappears on Mortis, and then so pretty much, you know, shit's gonna be in flux, and there's no more balance right now with the Son, who has no control. The father's dead, the sister's dead, it's all over the place at this point, and that was a great story, and it ended well, because the Jedi wake up from this, they know what happened, they can't explain it, but they think everything's all good. I think Anakin has a sense of what's going on. In my opinion, that's how I broke it down. But just seeing that the Republic and the universe is now heading down a dark path because there's no more balance of the Force with the Sun, now like not having that balance. It was cool, man. This is why this is number one for me in my my 5-part series, because Mortis does a great job at telling a great story, does a great job at diving into the mythos of Star Wars. You have to give George Lucas credit for this one. You gotta give Dave Filoni credit for this, because they told an excellent story. I know some behind the scenes stuff. I guess Darth Revan was supposed to be in the Mortis episodes. I know people who knows who Darth Revan is. Darth Revan is an EU character from the Knights of the Old Republic games that people loved, and he was supposed to be canon. Hopefully he's coming back to be canon, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm not going to grade this because we already know what this is going to be. It's a mofo. Go see this mofo. It is what it is. I cannot wait to do other reviews of this Clone Wars series and story arcs. Comment down below. Tell me what I should review. I think I know what I'm going to review next, but throw some ideas out down there, man, people. I want your opinions. I want your thoughts and ideas. I hope you guys like this video. Look for my part 2 of my Clone Wars story arcs, probably later in the week or in the weekend. So there you have it, folks. Like I always say, comment, like, and subscribe. Peace.
Hey, shawty, what it is? What up? Hey, shawty, what it is? What up? Hey, shawty, what it is? Little buddy, what you on? Some violent shit. Two-stepping, laid back, still wild as shit.